Build serious wealth, regardless of your income. Wealth creation by using leverage systems and smart decisions. What if the one thing you've been chasing your entire life is actually the thing keeping you broke? Most people spend decades believing the same story, that if they just earned more money, everything would finally fall into place. A better salary, a raise, a promotion. They grind through nights and weekends, sacrificing their health, their relationships, and their time, convinced that the next income milestone will be the one that finally sets them free. But here's the uncomfortable truth that almost nobody is willing to say out loud. There are people earning $200,000 a year who are one missed paycheck away from financial disaster. And there are people who never earned more than $50,000 in their lives, who retire with millions in assets, passive income, and complete financial freedom. So what's actually going on? What's the real difference between the person who earns a lot and stays broke and the person who earns less but builds lasting wealth? Because if income alone isn't the answer, and the data shows it isn't, then the entire framework most people are using to think about money is wrong. In this video, we're going to dismantle that framework completely. And by the end, I'm going to share the single most important mindset shift that separates people who build real wealth from people who spend their entire lives earning without ever arriving. Stay with me. The insight that comes at the end of this video might be the most important thing you hear this year if you're serious about your financial future. Not just watching videos about it, but actually ready to think differently. Take 1 second now to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It tells YouTube that this kind of content matters and helps us continue creating free, high-quality financial education that could genuinely change someone's life. One click from you could help this message reach the person who needs it most. Here's a statistic that should stop you cold. According to research by the National Endowment for Financial Education, nearly 70% of lottery winners file for bankruptcy within 5 years of their windfall. These are people who received millions of dollars overnight, and they lost it all. Meanwhile, studies on self-made millionaires consistently show that the majority of them built their wealth on average incomes through disciplined decisions made over long periods of time. This isn't a coincidence. It's a pattern, and it tells us something profoundly important about wealth that most people never truly understand. Wealth has almost nothing to do with how much money flows into your life. It has everything to do with what you do with the money once it arrives. The reason most people never figure this out is because we live in a culture that worships income. We celebrate salaries. We compete over job titles. We define success by the size of a paycheck. And while income is a tool, a useful one, it is not wealth. Wealth is what you keep, what you grow, and what eventually works for you instead of the other way around. The biggest lesson in this video is still coming. But first, let's talk about the single biggest financial trap that catches even the highest earners alive. Picture 2 people starting their careers at the same time. The first lands a corporate job that pays $90,000 a year. As their salary grows to $120,000 and then $150,000, so does their lifestyle. A nicer apartment, a newer car, more restaurants, more vacations, more subscriptions. By the time they're earning $180,000, they're spending $175,000. They feel successful, but they're financially fragile, one health emergency or job loss away from crisis. Economists call this lifestyle inflation, but a simpler name is the golden handcuffs. The more you earn, the more you feel entitled to spend, and the cycle never breaks. The second person earns $55,000, but here's where things get interesting. Instead of treating every raise as permission to spend more, they do something counterintuitive. They keep their lifestyle relatively stable. They automate a portion of every paycheck into investments before they ever have a chance to spend it. They live on less than they earn, not because they enjoy deprivation, but because they understand something the high earner doesn't. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is the only real number that matters. That gap, invested consistently over time, is what becomes wealth. This is where most people make a costly mistake. They spend years trying to increase income when they should be learning to protect and deploy the income they already have. Here's what wealthy people understand that almost nobody else does. Your time is the one resource you can never get more of. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you can only trade so many of them for money before you hit a ceiling. The wealthy figured out long ago that the solution isn't to work more hours. It's to stop trading time for money entirely, and instead build things that generate returns without your constant presence. This is called leverage, and it comes in many forms. Warren Buffett didn't build his fortune by working longer hours than everyone else. He built it by putting money to work through ownership, buying pieces of businesses that generated profits whether he was watching or not. Jeff Bezos didn't become the world's richest man by doing more tasks himself. He built a machine, a system of logistics, technology, and third-party sellers that multiplied his effort across millions of transactions every single day. Now, most of us aren't Warren Buffett. But here's the thing, you don't need to be. The principle of leverage is available to anyone. When you invest consistently in index funds, you're using financial leverage. Your money earns returns, and those returns earn returns of their own. When you develop a skill that can be packaged into an online course, a digital product, or a scalable service, you're using knowledge leverage. When you use AI tools to automate tasks that used to take hours, you're using technology leverage. Leverage isn't reserved for billionaires. It's a principle, and it's accessible right now. At whatever income level you're currently at, the question isn't whether you can access leverage. The question is whether you're willing to think differently enough to use it. Most people rely on motivation to build wealth. They feel inspired after watching a video like this one. They open a brokerage account. They make one investment, and then life gets busy. Emotions get in the way, and the habit dies. This is not a character flaw. This is how human psychology actually works. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. Wealthy people don't rely on motivation. They build systems. Consider what happens when you set up automatic transfers so that a fixed percentage of every paycheck moves directly into your investment account before you see it. You don't have to feel motivated. You don't have to make a decision. The system acts on your behalf every single time without fail. Over 20 years, this mechanical consistency compounds into something extraordinary. A study published in the journal Psychological Science found that people who relied on habit-based systems were far more likely to follow through on financial goals than people who relied on conscious willpower alone. The architecture of your financial life matters more than the intensity of your desire to build wealth. This is why the boring answer is often the right answer. Automatic investing, consistent contributions, a simple, diversified portfolio. No dramatic moves, no market timing, no get-rich-quick schemes. Just systems that run whether you're paying attention or not. The magic of compound growth rewards consistency above everything else. Let me pause here and ask you something directly. What's the biggest obstacle standing between you and financial freedom right now? Is it income, mindset, knowledge, or something else entirely? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one, and your response might shape a future video on this channel. Go ahead, I'll wait. There's a mindset shift that almost every self-made wealthy person describes as the turning point in their financial journey. The moment they stopped thinking like a consumer and started thinking like an owner. Consumers buy things. Owners buy assets. Consumers spend money to feel wealthy. Owners deploy money to become wealthy. And the difference between these two approaches, sustained over a lifetime, is the difference between financial struggle and financial freedom. Think about this for a moment. When you buy a new car, it loses value the second you drive it off the lot. When you buy a stock in a growing company, it has the potential to appreciate for decades. When you buy designer clothes to impress people, the money is gone. When you buy a rental property, the money comes back to you every single month, while the asset itself may increase in value. Every dollar you have is either buying you things that drain value or things that build value. Over time, which category you favor determines your entire financial future. The wealthy think in decades. The struggling think in days. Delayed gratification isn't about suffering or sacrifice. It's about understanding that your future self is also you, and that person deserves the wealth your present decisions can create. I promised you at the beginning that the biggest lesson was coming. Here it is. The real reason most people never build wealth has nothing to do with their income. It has to do with what they believe money is for. If you believe money is for spending, for signaling status, for comfort, for the feeling of success, then every raise you ever get will be absorbed by your lifestyle, and you will never accumulate real wealth no matter how much you earn. But if you begin to see money as a tool for buying back your time and building systems that generate more money, then even a modest income becomes a launchpad. This isn't theoretical. Ronald Reed was a janitor and gas station attendant in Vermont. He drove used cars his entire life. He wore safety pins to hold his coat together. And when he died in 2014 at the age of 92, he left behind an $8 million fortune, almost entirely built through consistent long-term investing in dividend stocks. Ronald Reed never earned a high salary. He never started a company. He never had a windfall. He simply understood that small, consistent actions applied over long periods of time through the machinery of compound growth produce extraordinary results. The formula is not complicated. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference consistently into assets that appreciate or produce income. Use leverage, whether through investments, systems, or scalable skills, to multiply your returns without multiplying your hours. Build systems that run without you, and think in decades rather than days. That's it. That's the secret the financial industry doesn't profit from telling you, because it requires no product, no subscription, and no advisor. It requires only a decision, made today and repeated consistently, to start thinking like an owner instead of a consumer. Wealth is not a reward for the people who work the hardest. History has made that clear. It is the outcome of a specific set of decisions, repeated consistently, over a long enough period of time. You don't need a six-figure salary. You don't need to be born into privilege. You don't need a lucky break. You need a gap between what you earn and what you spend. You need systems that invest that gap automatically. You need assets that appreciate while you sleep. You need leverage that multiplies your effort beyond what any single human working alone could ever produce. And you need the patience to let time do what time does better than anything else in the universe. Turn small, consistent actions into extraordinary results. The people who understand this don't hustle harder. They build smarter. They don't chase income. They accumulate ownership. They don't measure success by what they earn. They measure it by what they no longer need to work for. True wealth isn't about working more. It's about building the systems, assets, and financial freedom that allow your money to work in your place. Thank you for spending your time here today. That means more than you know, because time is the one thing none of us can get back. If this video shifted the way you think about wealth even slightly, please like it right now and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with one person in your life who needs to hear it, someone who's working hard but hasn't quite cracked the code yet. Turn on notifications so you never miss what we put out next. And speaking of what's next, the very next video on this channel digs even deeper into the mechanics of building passive income through assets and systems. It's a direct continuation of everything we covered today, And it might be the most important hour you invest in your financial education all year. Your wealth doesn't start with a bigger paycheck. It starts with a better decision. Make it today.